I, 28F, and my fiancé, 27M, are getting married in March. I come from an upper-class family, and my fiancé is lower middle class. This is a delicate matter for his family. Despite me being able to pay all the costs of the wedding, my parents gave the equivalent of 70% of the value of the wedding as a gift, which would be around 30k fictitious value, and, fortunately, my parents did not use this gift as a form of want to control everything at the party. When my fiancé's parents learned that my parents had given this gift, my fiancé and I didn't mention it, my sil snitched on them. They decided to give their gift as well and gave 3k, an amount for which I was very grateful to have received. And I deeply regret doing this, especially for my mill. I don't plan on having a traditional wedding party. My dress won't be white, lilac, there will be no religious ceremony, and it will be a party for only 30 guests, and my fiancé agrees and supports this. This bothers my mill a lot, especially the dress not being white. Over time, she gave up on imposing the idea of a big party and not having a religious ceremony, but the dress is something she annoys me too much. And it continues even though I snapped at her or my fiancé tells her to stop. Because of that, we are in LC with her. Yesterday, it was my sil's birthday and I went with my husband, obviously my mill was there. Not even 5 minutes after I stepped into the party, she started again with the idea of me having to wear white because it's an important tradition, and it got to the point where she was talking to her sisters about how this new generation doesn't respect traditions and that she was sorry afraid of these new parties. I had my limit when she spoke loud and clear that in her time, the bride and groom respected their parents' opinions, even more so if they helped pay for the wedding. I was very angry and said enough, I can't take it, it's not worth listening to other people's crap for this money. I had this money in my pocket and was going to deposit that same amount in the bank later, but I gave up and gave it to her in front of everyone. And I added that now she won't say anything because she's not helping. This generated confusion of tremendous proportions, my fiancé's entire family fighting with me, saying that I humiliated her in front of everyone and demeaned the amount they gave. Well, I had to leave early so it wouldn't get any worse. My fiancé understood why I did it but said it wasn't my best moment and I could have done it in private and not in front of everyone. Am I the idiot? Extra, explaining some doubts in the comments. 1. It is not $1 and the values are fictitious, it was only given as a parameter of values only. 2. I didn't have exactly 3k in my purse, the translator was wrong here, it was close to 32k and I was going to deposit it after the party. 3. I've lived with my husband for years, we've been married for years, and we're just getting official, so I call him husband or fiancé, whatever. 4. My sil found out about this money because my husband, they are very close, told her that he was happy that my parents covered more than half of the expenses and this amount was not spent on the wedding, we saved to start IVF next year. I think that's it. Ha 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 ha. Not the idiot. Sucks to suck mill. Act like an idiot in front of others, be treated like an idiot in front of others. Right? It's OP's wedding so she can wear what she wants. If she wants to wear a friggin' potato sack she's entitled to wear a friggin' potato sack. Leave it alone mill. Not the idiot. House elf-themed wedding they are wearing potato sacks and exchange socks to be free together. Not the idiot. Never understand the argument that people who start crap in public should be given the consideration of dealing with them in private. Mill started it, you finished it, she'll think twice the next time. Mill started it, you finished it exactly. Nip that crap in the bud now, and next time maybe she'll know to behave. She is not in charge. Not the idiot. Had you done it privately, Mill still could have continued, since no one knew you gave the money back. She didn't give you problems privately, why should you give her more consideration than she gave you? If she's embarrassed, too bad. She made you feel bad and now she's the victim? No way. I'm glad she did it publicly. I fear that if she did it in private, FMIL would have twisted things around. Quick backstory, after graduating high school my son moved 3 states away for college. At 19 he married a girl he met, I tried convincing him to wait because I personally felt he was too immature. They both dropped out and moved back here to his hometown. At 20 they had their first child, a beautiful little girl. 16 months later, my dill gave birth to their second child, a little boy. After the first baby, my wife and I noticed our dill wasn't happy. We both thought it was PPD related. Just after the second arrived, my son and his wife separated. She would bring the kids over for a visit, it was then she began unloading on us. I know there are two sides to every story, but considering I know my son, I believed her. I sat my son down numerous times to speak with him regarding his marriage. He refused to take responsibility and blamed her for everything, even when I directly pointed out where he was the sole problem. They got into counseling, and for a year things were okay on the surface. Our deal filed for divorce. My son 3 days later was on Facebook announcing his new girlfriend. A month later, they were engaged. My son had forced his then-wife to become a permanent SOM at the birth of their first child. She of course had no other family or friends here, she knew no one aside from us. She had nowhere to go with 2 small children. Unbeknownst to our son, my wife and I helped her financially and got her an apartment. Before the divorce was even finalized, we received a wedding invitation. I made it clear to my son I would not be attending and they would not have my blessing. His mother told him she would see to it that I would attend. I stayed consistent in my decision. I also asked him not to bring his fiancée around our house out of respect for the mother of his children. The wedding happened on February 11th. The night before, my wife gave me the final push. I did not attend. Our daughter also did not attend for the same reasons. My wife picked up our grandkids, got them dressed, and attended the wedding. My daughter and I decided to spend the evening with his ex. I couldn't imagine her sitting alone while her kids attended their father's wedding. She was taken aback that I didn't end up attending his wedding. We took her out to distract her mind. I just wanted her to know she'll always be considered family to us. My daughter also made a joke they can drop the in-law status and just be sisters now. She was very tearfully grateful. I realized just how badly she needed our support and specifically on that night. The next morning, my son called to tell me how much of a horrible father I am for not attending his wedding. A few days later he caught wind that I spent the wedding evening with his ex. He said that was the ultimate form of betrayal, and further myself and his sister would have to earn a relationship with him on his terms only. Not the idiot, this is funny, you have to earn a relationship on his terms. I think he needs to check his offering. He's way overvaluing what he brings to the table. Not the idiot, it sounds like you're a reasonable parent who acknowledges when your kid is being an idiot. I don't see anything wrong with you choosing to support the mother of your grandchildren who he seems to have left in a bad spot. Not the idiot. He wanted a trophy wife, immediately got into a relationship with another woman when he got divorced, and tried to manipulate both you and her. The relationship you have with your ex still is yours, not dependent on him. Good for you for helping her out through this difficult time and for standing against the idiot's son. Update. First, I'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for your support and encouragement. I know without a doubt I did the right thing. I even feel differently now. His mother should not have attended either. But we can't go back and undo that. So, my son saw the post. I sent my daughter the link yesterday so she could read the comments. This morning she texts me at work. Dad, you went viral. Lol. But anyways, he sent screenshots of the post and all my comments to his mom. He also told her. He's dead to me now. Time will tell if he means that. I'm sure he'll see this update too. For that reason, I'm positively certain the second he needs another cash loan I won't be dead anymore. His mom told him. Your children have to be our #1 priority. They're not just some disposable items you can leave behind when one chapter of your life closes. Maybe one day, he'll understand this. So I'm the owner of a wonderful rescued macaw. She is a wonderful bird, but has a lot of issues due to an abusive former home. I've had her for 3 years and since then haven't taken any vacations or trips away, as it would be too disruptive for her. She distrusts everyone and is very reliant on her routine. I love her deeply and I'm happy to make sacrifices for her. They are permanent toddlers and very intelligent birds. I met my husband by the time his kids were older. My stepdaughter was 16 at the time. We married when she moved away for college. Nevertheless, I thought we'd managed to have a decent relationship until now. My stepdaughter is getting married in March, and naturally, there's a lot of preparation involved. They're wanting a huge traditional wedding, and she is stressed out of her mind. They live out of state, and she invited me recently to come to visit her for a week to help make wedding plans and spend time with their 2-year-old. I declined and she insisted to know why, acting very hurt, and I explained the parrot. Well, it all went downhill from there. She caused a massive fuss with her dad, saying she never got a mother figure and I never accepted her as my full-blood daughter, and this is the ultimate snub for a silly animal. That I'm cold and emotionless. I feel really hurt and I can tell he agrees with her, even though he's refusing to take sides. But I don't see why I should be expected to take holiday time off work to babysit and bond all of a sudden, and I don't see how I'm a monster for this. Am I the idiot here? P.S. In the context of our relationship, we don't usually talk at all, and she hasn't visited home in 4 years. Unless you know parrots in general, this isn't an animal you can simply drop off at a pet sitter. OP could lose the previously abused bird's trust if the bird thinks OP had abandoned them. Same time, you are already associating bonding with being a free babysitter. Also, a last-minute one at that. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Just sounded a little callous, but then again you are not obligated to be her babysitter. Not the idiot. Not the idiot. I'd normally say you were an idiot for putting a bird before family, but you've made it clear she's been pretty distant from you. The thing about relationships is they require effort and attention. Just because you're related by blood or law doesn't mean someone is entitled to your presence, especially if the relationship isn't exactly a good one. Not the idiot. Macaws and parrots are not just birds like budgies where you can ask a pet sitter to feed and water them all week. Macaws are like gifted children who scream and can rip your fingers off. They are an 80-year commitment and often only bond to a single person. Birds in general are extremely sensitive to any environmental changes, so someone who doesn't know what they are doing can hurt or even kill the macaw. Update. I called my stepdaughter and told her that I understand this is a big moment in her life, that she wants someone there to help and support her, and that I'm still willing to help her in any way I can to plan the wedding via Zoom and virtually. We talked a bit and I asked her why she hadn't accepted me reaching out in the past, and she apologized and said she didn't want to accept someone as a stand-in, fake replacement for her bio mom, but now she regrets it and would like a closer relationship, especially seeing how close her son is with his mom. We ended the conversation positively, and I'm hoping things can improve going forward. I told her I'm a crazy bird lady and asked her if she still wants a relationship knowing that, and she said that after the wedding, she's willing to travel to visit us if we have room. Which we do. I'm happy either way, and I'm glad the feedback here motivated me to make the call.